Xbox Record This is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy Diwali, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven. This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy Diwali here, and welcome to Xbox Record This, episode 79. XRT is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. And joining me, as always, is the assistant to the co-host, Bubble Boy and Seven. How are you?
Oh, always good. Happy to be alive. Escaped with my heart still beating from Aurora today. We were in yet another 3-hour secure perimeter, which I'm just numb to. Like, aren't you at the same time, Dan? Like, they're not even.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't even faze me anymore. You know why, Chance? Because I follow APD Twitter, and I know that there's just a shooting every 3 to 4 hours. There's a shooting in Aurora, and lockdown, and reverse 911, et cetera, et cetera.
What's a reverse 911?
Like where they call you and they're like, "Get inside now."
Here, just real-time update for Chance right here, and this is probably what it was. Large police presence at the area of South Elkhart and Fairplay Preserve at City Center Apartments. Yeah, that's right by you, isn't it?
Yep. That's
SWAT
where
is
Bill Hedges
attempting
used
to
to live.
contact a man wanted on suspicion on shots fired earlier today. A reverse 911 was sent to the residence and shelter in place. Updates here. Update. The highway is now open. We certainly appreciate everyone's patience. Officer located numerous shell casings on the interstate, possibly related to this earlier incident. And news release. Uniformed Aurora police officer shot at during a road rage incident. So there it is, folks. Every day. I just... one of these days, whatever, I don't even want to say. Joining us, as always, is the assistant to the co-host. Hopefully he wasn't in a lockdown for 4 hours like Bubble Boy and I were. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm great. I'm not bad, not great. Just excited for the weekend, man. It's just been long days, not bad days, just long days. And definitely appreciate having video games and this time to chat with you fellas. Just like listen to a lot of podcasts, as I know you guys do too. And I probably have the shortest commute by far of the three of us, so I don't get to listen to as many. But it's a good outlet, man. And it makes me think about a couple weeks ago I sent on our nerd chat to all our listeners. There was like a study done that men have a problem with friends. Like grown men, there was some percentage that was insane, have no friends as an adult. And I understand why, because people are not always awesome, but they said that you live a much happier life. You have like a lot less stress in your life. You live longer when you have friends. So it makes me very grateful to have you two. And of course our nerd chat. So overall, great, man. Excited to talk about some games.
No, I completely agree with that. I've read that before too. And we'll have to get we'll have to get Claire in here and we can talk a little bit more about that too. But speaking of the friends thing, and I hate to throw my dad under the bus, but like that's kind of like my dad, and I worry about him. Like I'm like, does my dad really have any good friends besides us and his family? And it's not good, you guys, when you really start digging in there and thinking about that. So, Dad, I know you're old and you don't want any friends more than I do, but maybe go talk to Ray's dad. Go talk to good old Mr. Mariyama. He needs a friend too. So shout out to Ray Mariyama and his dad and my dad. They need to be besties from now on, just like me and Raymond. Moving on to a more positive note here, Jose. We've got a lot of huge XRT shout-outs, Jose. And let's start with Coach Goose 66 on YouTube. He said, this was a couple weeks. I missed this. He wrote this right before we recorded last week. He said, don't forget to talk about the McRib leaving forever. Gentlemen, do we need to address this comment? I mean, realistically, is it that big of a deal? I mean, we all had it maybe once whenever it comes back, and then we never think about it again. McRib, any final thoughts as we lay it to rest here? Bubble Boy?
It's one of those,
you missed
like,
out. I wanted you to have the...
Sorry. Oh, I mean...
I thought that was coming too.
Sorry.
you.
No,
Thank you.
because the reality is it's like one of those urban legends where the story of it is way better than the
Yeah.
actual
True.
what it is itself, right?
He's
Or like
absolutely right.
yeah, like when you're driving through the country, like on your way to, I don't know, Omaha or something, like come see the world's biggest ball of yarn, and you're
Yeah.
like,
I gotta see this.
yeah, right. And then you go and you're like, wow, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it's boring as hell.
Yeah. All right. Similar to the McRib. Jose, any thoughts? Are you a big McRib guy? You are, aren't you?
No. So confession,
Oh.
I had never had a McRib my
What?
whole childhood until being friends with Goose, because he was such a big proponent of them. And I was like, I got to try this freaking McRib. And I just, like, it was fine. It wasn't
Yeah.
gross or anything. I just wasn't like, I was like, I don't get it, I guess. I kept, that's why I said, bring back the McSnack wrap. I will get
Yeah.
excited about the McSnack wrap.
Oh,
That's
man.
bring
Can
that
you
back.
imagine?
But I just think, if I don't like it, more for Goose. And I hope you enjoy him, buddy.
Goose, I hope you're filling up because I don't know many people. Maybe Miggy and Goose. Actually, I take that back. Miggy loved the McRib too, and I could see those two just chowing down on McRibs when they used to live together. So shout out to Goose, the McRib, and Miggy. But we got another huge XRT shout out from Coach Goose as well. He wrote into our email, and where can people write in there? Chipotle Bear, what's our email?
You can always write an xboxrecordthis@gmail.com or slide into those DMs. Always happy to hear from our fans.
Absolutely. And he wrote in because we were talking about burgers again. We're always talking about burgers. And I'm pretty sure Goose sent this before. We probably read this before, but let's see. I think it changed a little bit here. Coach Goose's top 5 fast food burgers. Honorable mention, McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese, double quarter pounder with cheese.
Double QPC, son. That's what you're talking about. QPC.
Okay. No, I got that. I just the double, I guess. The L threw me off there. McDonald's regular cheeseburger. Yeah, I agree. That's standard. Wendy's double stack. I'm not big on the double stack, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. With the double stack, no, give me JBC or nothing. Or not the Baconator, but there was one before it, guys. What was it called? It wasn't the Baconator, but it was the perfect blend of bacon, meat, and toppings. But boy, look that up for me right now. Say what was before the Baconator? It had a specific name. It was delicious because now it's too much bacon. Okay, you can't overdo it. And then Pal's Sudden Service, the Big Pal. Don't know that one, Goose. We're gonna have to do some research on that one. Here's his top 5. Number 5, I'm shocked. In-N-Out Double. Number 4, Wendy's Dave's Classic, not saying hot and juicy, single, double, or triple. Number 3, McDonald's Big Mac. Overrated. Number 2, this one jumped onto his list. The original slider from White. Number 2, Goose? Okay, you're crazy, but I mean, I like White Castle. I want to try one of those jalapeno ones. And number 1, this is why I love Goose, and he's one of the best. A Whopper. That's right. Burger King's best. That's the only reason Burger King's still around, you guys. Is people love the taste of the Whopper.
Actually, I love the onion rings. I like the onion rings.
Oh, true. The onion rings are very good too. Allie gets them every time. Bubble Boy, any reaction to this list? Anything stand out to you, or is this kind of what you expected? I'm shocked with the sliders number 2. I mean, I love a slider, but
no, Goose loves his White Castle, and there's something again like really sentimental about those, and that you can eat 73 of them at a time. I mean, I don't know. But the Whopper's disgusting. It always has been. It always will be. I believe you were looking for the Big Bacon Classic.
Yes, that's what it was. The Big Bacon. See, Jose knows.
He's assistant. That's why he's assistant.
Dude, that's it. The Big Bacon Classic. That was legit, you guys. Yeah. So shout out to Goose. Thanks for writing in, buddy. We got to get you on the pod sometime. And he also said he will gladly debate and defend his choices. So please do. Jose, take it away with the next one, unless you want Bubble Boy to read this one.
No, I'd be happy to. This would be a good one. It says, hello, gentlemen. Oh, sorry. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I did not expect to be called out on my distaste for candy on your podcast, too. I tried to just bide my time and not write it until the candy talk was over so I could avoid discussing the topic that makes me a social pariah. I can't explain it. There's no excuse.
I got to jump in here. What is a social pariah? I've heard this term before. Can someone explain this to me?
Chance,
like
you're
an outcast?
You're good with words.
I just assumed it meant like, yeah. Okay, back to the Googleator here. Give me a
All right,
second.
we're on Google. It's an Outcast. I
All
was right. Okay, my
Outcast.
deduction worked out. Perfect. All right.
Got it. Claire, you're using too big of words here. Come on, we barely made it this far. All right, back to Claire's message. She says her top 5 monsters. Number 5, demons, which are terrifying. Number 4, dragons, absolutely, because they're awesome. Number 3, cryptids. I love the West Virginia Mothman, Yetis, Bigfoot, all of it. And I love what Jose said about living with the hope that they're real and maintaining a sense of wonder for a world that we'll never fully understand. There's just so many cool stories, and I couldn't agree more. By the way, Chance, I tried to find that Kyle Kinane thing. I cannot find it. I found the whole stand up, but I don't know where that part of the Chicago.
Oh, so it's
is.
not in his stand up. It's on their podcast, and they just had their Halloween episode, and he came back again to remind everybody of St. Matman's Day.
I'll go find it. I'll check it out.
Your French bread and your beef sandwiches, and it's pretty awesome.
Okay. I will check that out. I'm sorry for the giggling in the background. My girls are watching YouTube before they go to bed here. Number 2, ghosts. Spend more time in New Orleans or other quote unquote haunted places like I have, and you'll start to know that ghosts might be real. It's very hard to describe. And number 1, vampires. I've been a vampire super fan for the longest time. I read Anne Rice for the first time last year. And if you go to New Orleans, take the haunted history tours, which is the company name, the Vampire Tour. They're the absolute best haunted tour group in the city, and you'll learn some fantastic lore. Plus, Michael and I just saw the Dracula ballet. Michael Berquist, her co-host. And if there's ever been a performing arts dream role for me, it would be that show. And Claire, if you didn't know, Claire is a dancer. Like, she is incredibly talented at dancing. She danced when she was in high school. If you follow her on social media, she just posted some really rad pictures that a friend took of her for Halloween, which is cool.
I did. What was it? Black Swan, right? Something like that. Well,
she also did some just in like a haunted warehouse, which, like, she's braver than I am. That's for sure.
You know what? I think Claire was there when I taught with you. Was she friends with Audrey? Because they were both. She's a dancer.
Yeah, it would have been that time together. Yeah. All right, back to her letter, and I continue. Age of Empires was actually the first video game I was really into. I played on my 5-pound HP laptop. I bought the disc at Best Buy, and I loved it. I do agree with Chipotle Bear that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about playing it on a console. I remember a lot of clicking around, but perhaps it's the nostalgia. I'll have to check it out. She also adds, the Xbox adaptive controller commercials makes me cry every time I see it. Accessibility and fun in games is why we are all here. Thanks for highlighting this great project, Microsoft. Stuck out. It makes me want to maintain as an Xbox player for life. I am super into the mystery who sent y'all this candy. I hope we find out. See you online. Claire, thank you for writing in. Always great to hear from you. And I know that I'm the one dropping the ball here, but I assure you we're going to reach out so we can get you on the show sometime before 100. Before 100,
yeah, we got to get her on here. Claire, for sure. We're going to get you on a super episode with you. Thank you so much for writing in. And I got to take over right now because Claire said it right there. We got another XRT package in the mail, you guys.
What is that? 4 now?
2. But check this out. So here's the font, okay? Again, this person is smart and they have disposable income and it's someone related to Jose. Clearly, the amount of effort gone into this, it's gone too far. It's this heinous fault. They're trying to throw me off versus the other one, which was, it's right here. This just looks like a classic, whatever the Google font is. Here's the next letter, you guys. The saga continues. Okay, trying to throw me off again. This one did it right. Oh, hello, Daddy D. Wally. Have to say that I agree with most of your definitive candy bar lists. So enjoy some of these delicious treats. Happy Halloween, an XRT fan. P.S. I also agree with your choice in burgers too. Whoppers with cheese are the best. Bubble Boy, what is going on here? Who is this mystery person? Do you know who it is? Has this person revealed to you? Are they in on the bit? Did they reach out to you for my address? So that's, what are you thinking here? Bubble Boy?
I thought you said Chapeau. I said no. I don't know.
Okay, I forgot to share what this person sent. By the way, it's all gone. I can't even show you the box of candy like I did last time. I ate it all within 48 hours.
Yeah.
We have a giant Heath bar, a giant Hershey's cookies with cream, a giant Reese's Fast Break. I ate that immediately. Peanut M&Ms, Milky Way, Snickers, Kit Kat, Reese's, Twix. Those were all standard candy bars. Again, this person, disposable income. Jose. Butterfinger, 3 Butterfingers, 3 Almond Joys. The organization here, 3 and 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 Baby Ruths. Jose, that's screaming your organization.
If you did
all
3 and 3,
over
why
it.
didn't you save one for us? Like, that's clearly 3 for the 3.
I'm just
co-hosts here.
saying, my theory is still someone connected to Jose. Jose, reveal to me,
different than
who is
Jose,
this
though.
person? Who is it?
So, funny story.
I can't wait.
It's not me, for the record. I swear to you. I swear to my children that it's not me, and I maintain that.
Yeah.
It is, the second box was my mom, but I didn't know that. So last night, I'll tell you more about this when we get to our food section later in the
Jose.
show.
Okay, then you know what I was going to say, your mom, because the Whoppers with cheese. I think I remember her saying something about the Whoppers before.
So last night I was at dinner with my parents because my dad won an award. We'll talk more about that later. But I was talking to my mom, and she's like, "Did Dan get my
award?"
Hang on, my dad. My mom said, "Did Dan get my box?" And I was like, "What do you mean your box?" And she goes, "Well, I listened to the episode, and he got that really gross one, and I felt so bad for him because like everyone hates him." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "So I sent him a box of really good candies that he likes." And I was like, "What?" And so the second box, that one, the really good one, is from my mom because she felt bad for you. Just so you know.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Shout out.
I still don't know about the first one. For the
I
record.
don't believe
it's
you.
not for me. It's not for me. I wouldn't do that. That's all I have to say. I don't know what to tell you.
Pregnant pause.
I thought the internet.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, there goes Dan's internet. Dang
Okay,
it.
well, thank you. I'm glad I got one of these correct. Okay, I really do appreciate the candy. I ate it all. All right, Mrs. Martinez, I ate everything. It literally didn't share.
Did you share it with Allie and the kids?
No, I ate it all. I'm not kidding when I say that. I think I gave her the Snickers. There was a Snickers in there, I think, right? Yeah, I probably gave. You know what? No, I don't know. I might have eaten it. I had a great time with it, so thank you so much. But the person number 1, which I still have, right? Look, it is still here. If anyone wants to claim this caca candy, especially those dots, it is still right here on my desk. But my dad, he wanted to take the Whoppers and the licorice, so that is gone. I'm sorry. My dad was all pumped about it, so I was like, please take these. So the mystery goes on. Reveal yourself, please, for my sanity. Please. Guys, that has been the shout outs for this week. Popping off. Bubble Boy, take it away with the opener for this week.
Yeah, perfect. So we a couple episodes ago, I had finished playing Alien Isolation and was just talking about how I felt like the way of adapting a movie to a video game always works so much better than a video game to a movie. And there's just so many, I think like Star Wars games alone you could do with movies, right? And so many different video games. But I thought it would be fun if we did specifically TV shows. So TV shows that have been adapted into video games. And I think I thought there were a lot more at first of these, and then I kind of struggled through it. Do either of you want to go first, or do you want me to kick it off here?
Wait, I have a clarification, and I apologize. This is probably just me not reading this correctly. I did
TV shows.
I did TV shows adapted from games, not games adapted from shows. Does that make sense?
No, I did.
No.
I did just like what is written on here. The top
TV
it says top
TV
5 video
adaptations
games
into video
adapted
games.
from
TV.
TV. So I took a TV show a game that was created from a TV show. So
Correct.
a TV.
Okay, then why don't you go first, you?
Correct.
All right, I'll go first since I think I did it right. No movies, right, Bubble Boy? Because it doesn't say movies on there. Movie adaptations are not listed.
Yeah, when we first did it, I was like movies and TV, but again, there's just so many movies. Like just Lego games alone, you could have done too many.
And I don't feel like there's that many TV. Like at first, I was like, I don't even know.
There's not, yeah,
exactly.
But
there's some quality ones. So here, I'll just share my list. Number 5. Oh no. Just lost it. Number 5. And this one I kind of struggled with because when it came out, I thought it was super cool, but I don't think I beat it. And I didn't play much of it. Simpsons Hit and Run on the OG Xbox. That was my number 5. Number 4. I know Matthew, my brother, likes to make fun of me for this, but Lost Via Domus was a good game. It made me feel like I was in Lost. maybe not the best gameplay, but it did a good job capturing the spirit of the show,
which is important.
Yes. Number 3, Telltale Walking Dead series. And I know that's all based off of a comic, but I mean, at the time the show was popping off. Yeah. Okay. Number 2, and these are banger slangers if I ever could list 2 of them. South Park, The Stick of Truth, and The Fractured Butthole. Probably, possibly, realistically, the best TV adaptation video games ever made, especially The Stick of Truth. What a phenomenal game. Obsidian, again, Xbox first party now. Incredible. And number 1, and it's so funny because I was just talking to you guys. Remember Jason? Jason Can, good old Jason.
Of course,
Can? Of course you do. Number 1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, which was like the cartoons, right? Very much so that style, right?
Yeah. It was
again based on a comic.
It pass. I didn't, and of course I'm like, when I think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I do think of those cartoons, but for some reason I don't know. I couldn't.
What else do you think of? Really? That is the cartoon style. Anyway, randomly this morning, Chance, out of nowhere, Can messaged me on Instagram. And he sent me a picture of this Turtles in Time sewers surfing, like it's kind of like a diorama. Right out of nowhere, you guys. I mean, I've seen Jason like in the neighborhood. I've waved to him a few times because he still lives in the area. And I said, still one of my favorite games. And I said, burn my Charlotte Wounded Knee. That's one of the levels when you're on the train.
Yeah.
And
that's a great one, bud.
I said, I remember playing it like it was yesterday. My toe. He's like, was it on the Super? And I was like, yes, the SNES. And they actually just re-released it, in the Cowabunga collection. And he was freaking out. And he's like, we need to get together and play on an SNES. And he still has his SNES. And he has Pilot Wings, F-Zero, Final Fat, Lost Vikings, and Smash TV. And I'm like, dude, Smash TV and Lost Vikings. I want that. And then I told him I still had his Ken Griffey Jr. baseball back there. That's his. And he's like, dude, I'll trade you Smash TV for that. I want it back. And then he sent some pictures of his collection. And it just, speaking of the good old days, guys, in XRT, awesome to hear from you, Jason. Shout out to Jason Can. Number 1, Team NT, Turtles in Time. Bubble Boy, let's hear your list.
Yeah, and just to clarify, because it's, of course, that one's going to be on there, but I always think of the first live action movie when I think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then just the toys. But I think it was because I was never.
But the cartoons were first, right?
I know, but I think I just was never really into Saturday morning cartoons a whole lot. Like, it just, I don't know. And these are all, that was like, my quote rules are useless anyway. I appreciate that you put some effort into it, which I got to stop giving you crap for, because you haven't done one of your patented Daddy Duwally.
I've been killing it lately on my
lists and
prepared.
Yeah. So, all right. So, my honorable mentions, and not that they were great games, but again, kind of like Lost, like Daniel said, I like the way he worded that. The Game of Thrones games, the game that was on the 360 was really well done.
The Telltale one?
No. That one, I was really upset with, because I bought like the season pass for it, and they only released like the first 2 chapters of it. They just stopped with that game. So absolutely not the Telltale one. You were like the knight, Jose. What was the flame, the Knights of the something Rolar? I don't even remember. I don't remember.
In Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That the Red Queen or the Red Woman.
Nobody knows what's going on with that.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, but it was cool because you were like one of them, and you were also someone from the Night's Watch. I don't know. It was a really, really well done adaptation of the game. It just wasn't a lot of fun. And then same with 24, the game. It was fun to be part of the 24 universe, and
I gotta ask you, how was that? Wasn't that on PS2?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It looked like it even had Chase on there.
I know, yeah. It just wasn't very well done, right? Like, but
I wish
it had had the doot doot doot, right? And, anyway, so my top 5. We've talked
Jose,
about
get
this.
that soundbite immediately. The 24 clock.
I've dropped some 24 sound bites, and neither of you said a thing.
Maybe we weren't hearing them.
I stand by my decision.
Okay,
Jose,
I'll
look it up.
get some more then. So anyway, we've talked about this game before. The Simpsons Bart's Nightmare was the one that I think
Ooh, good one.
we were able to beat like
Nobody,
2
nobody beat
levels
it.
maybe, or get
That's
one of
generous,
those
bud.
homework
No.
assignments ever. Yeah. Just impossible, but we kept trying and it was lots of fun. Number 4, another blast from the past, the American Gladiators video game. That game was so much fun, where you got to roll around in the little like hamster wheel
No.
or
I think
hamster balls.
that's called Fusion Frenzy.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. But that game was fun. And then the last 3, it was hard for me to pick where, but I think the more I looked back on it, South Park Stick of Truth was amazingly well done. It looked like you were in the show. You could have, like, if your wife or roommate or whoever walked by and they didn't see you with a control in your hand, they'd have thought you were just watching another episode of South Park. Had all the exact same humor. And like you said, that was Obsidian. It was so extremely well done. I put it here because I didn't love the combat in that one. It was a little strange in that old one, or in
This
the
is
first
still
one.
honorable mention?
No, that's number 3.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Number 2, I went with Telltale's The Walking Dead, the game. Again, I broke my own rule. I know it was a comic first, but I read some of those. Well, actually, I read quite a bit of those comics, but I will always remember it as a TV show. I think the reason that I couldn't give it number 1, it was an absolutely incredible story, but any of those Telltale games, the gameplay just isn't great, right? And we play to have fun in the game. So number 1, it was, how could I not put it on here? South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Everything from the
Really?
title. Yep.
Really? Better than Stick of Truth?
Better than Stick of Truth because the combat, I liked that better. I am still to this day frustrated that I didn't get the 1,000 out of 1,000 on it for the playing it on hard difficulty. But if you didn't know that hard difficulty, do you remember?
You play as a black
the
character.
way if the harder you want the game to be, the darker you make your skin tone, which is just like, hey, there's life, right? It's the most just genius. They are equal opportunity offenders. That game, it was so good. Probably not really a ton of replay value, but I might fire it up again.
I don't know, that one playthrough. I don't know if you forgot about it. I almost want to go back and play Stick of Truth because I remember that being funnier and
I really should.
better, well,
both of them.
Than The Fractured Butthole. I felt like they're both good, but I feel like I laughed way more at the first one. Everyone out there listening, if you're a fan of South Park or just good comedy in general, go play The Stick of Truth or The Fractured Butthole. They're phenomenal games.
And really good comedy in general. Ashley writes that show off every time because it's a cartoon, and she's like, the voices are so high pitched and stuff. And I'm just like, if you like smart, well written comedy, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they're geniuses. Those guys are incredibly smart, and it's crazy. So Jose, did you update your list? Are you ready to go here? Are you working on it as we talk?
I am, but I'm prepared to be demoted again for one very specific reason, and that is because I have not played either of the South Park games. And it's not because I don't want to. It's because
what?
It's because
I think you can get them right now for like $3.
Boo.
I know, and that's
Jose, Chance. Where's the boo earns? Boo, Jose. Boo.
Well, no, we use boo. I was saying boo earns when
I was saying boo earns. All right, I got it for you, Jose. My gosh, I know you're not a South Park fan.
No, I am a big South Park fan.
Oh my
I was
God.
just having.
Okay, hold on. I'm ending the call, guys. I'm booting Chipotle Bear right now. Don't worry. We're just going to be me and Chance the rest of the show. See ya, Jose.
Gosh. So to clarify, I'm still here. I would love to play them. I was having children when they came out. I did not have time to play them. But Chance is right. I'll pick them up. I'm almost done with Gotham Knights. I got a little bit of a buffer. Because I think I'm going to try to play not Pentiment. What's the other one?
Somerville.
Thank you. If there's time in there, I might try to squeeze those in just real quick.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
But all that aside, I did come up with a list. I think another topic another day should be best TV shows from video games. I know we did movies before, but I have that list ready to go for the record. But here's my list. Honorable mention, there was a Power Rangers game. I cannot remember what it was, but I played it as a kid. It was like a fighting game. with Power Rangers, it just sticks in my mind as like, there was a period where I liked Power Rangers. Everyone loves the Green Ranger and Tommy, the White Ranger. It's fine. Anyway, official list. Number 5, the Real Monsters game. Real Monsters was like a cartoon game, or a cartoon that came out on, was it like Nick at Night or something like that originally when we were kids? It was like the same era of like, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Really? Was that? Oh,
it was that era, but there was a video game for the Super Nintendo that was actually pretty solid, and you got to play as the different characters in the game. It was pretty cool. I like that. So that's number 5. Number 4, I did put Walking Dead Telltale. It's a phenomenal game. I love the Walking Dead stuff. I love the show, but again, it's like you said, I have to be in the right mood for a walking simulator, and I don't play a lot of them for that reason, because I combat and gameplay matters. So that's number 4. Number 3, I can't believe Dan didn't put this one on there. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Fantastic.
Oh my, I'm embarrassed.
Right? Fantastic.
Okay. Simpsons out of there. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, moving that up to number. It's back there on my. It's literally back there.
It's literally right there.
See, and that one I would consider TV
revised
show,
list.
yeah.
That would be number 3. Knockdown Telltale, Knockdown Lost, Sea of Simpsons. Jose, thank you. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse again, but this is a comic turned into a 90s cartoon. Chance, whatever it was on
it's
TV.
Fine. It's fine.
Okay.
We're all about the good old days.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me, same as Chance's, Bart's Nightmare. And there were a couple Simpsons games like Radioactive Man, and there was one other one I can't remember that came out kind of in this era, and they all were fun. But Bart's Nightmare, God, there were countless times like where Chance spent the night, and we were trying to get a freaking like D in that game because you're trying to get a better grade on your report, and there was only a couple of those like mini games we could beat. Like, I don't even know today, as a grown man with like skills, if I could still beat some of those today. I don't know if I could, but anyway, that's number 2. And my official number 1, of course, is Turtles in Time. Like, that is just, it's just an S tier game. Like, every person that has ever played it is like, this is amazing, just because of the roster they have, the mutant, the sound effects, like you said, the bury my shell at wounded knee. Like, people know those things.
Bury my shell, wounded knee.
Yeah, shell shocked, right? Like those things.
Sewer surfing,
3 a.m.
Big Apple,
amazing game.
3 a.m.
So very, very lots of great memories there. And I guess the only thing I would say about this whole thing, because it's very nostalgic, I hope our kids have experiences like this. Like, it's going to be different because they have so much of a catalog to choose from when they get into games versus us. Like, we just didn't have that much of a catalog. But man, I hope they have some of those same experiences with their friends one day.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Chance, great topic, man.
Great
I love
topic.
it. This is great to think about. And I promise I'll play Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole game here.
Well, speaking of real-time update, Jose, you might want to check your Xbox messages because your Christmas present might have just been delivered to you early. So why don't you go check that out?
Go check it.
Also, big update. Bubble Boy wrote in the chat, Big Bacon Classic at 7:40. I'm just reading that now. So again, the Big Bacon Classic used to be the best, one of the best sandwiches over at Wendy's. Great warm up, guys. Let's jump into some Xbox news. We're only 30 minutes in, like usual. This is an Xbox dedicated podcast. Let's jump into it with story number 1. A new report from Jason Schreier. Shout out to Jason Schreier over on Bloomberg. I'm just going to go read the article if you'd like to learn more. I'm going to take out the points that Benji Sales, good old Benji, tweeted out when this broke on the 1st. Embracer Group has closed Onoma, previously known as Square Enix Montreal. Eidos Montreal has reduced the scope of one of its unannounced games and will cancel another. Eidos plans to work with Xbox on games, including Fable. So Fable is being worked on by our pals over at Playground Games and apparently Eidos Montreal. And now Benji also wrote, I'm now pretty convinced, if not for the ongoing Activision Blizzard deal, Microsoft would have bought these studios. That's now 2 of the former Square Enix Western studios making Xbox games. Crystal Dynamics is working on Perfect Dark, and Eidos Montreal is working on Fable. To clarify, Microsoft was not in a position to buy these studios at the time. It's why there are 0 new Xbox acquisitions since the Activision Blizzard deal was announced. Microsoft doesn't want to do anything to risk the deal falling through with regulators before it is finalized. Bubble Boy, I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think of Eidos Eidos working on Fable and teaming up? And also, we already knew about Crystal Dynamics working on Perfect Dark. And is this a done deal? Is Xbox going to buy these two studios? And if so, I'm all about this because they make some banger slangers as far as
Yeah,
I'm
they do.
concerned.
Yeah, they do. And the whole like team up thing, I think what was the last game that we were like freaking out like, oh, they're teaming up with so and so for this, and it turned out it wasn't a big deal. I think it's great. That the team that's going to be doing that new Fable is obviously incredible because they've brought us all the Horizon games, but that doesn't mean that they can't be constantly improving themselves. That's why they got so good, because they didn't just rest on their laurels and they didn't get complacent. And yeah, Eidos Montreal has put out some serious bangers, so I think it's cool. I hate to speculate too much about what it might mean. I'm going to choose to think it's a really positive thing and hope that people, that their creativity, that they can feed off each other. So
Great point. Jose, do you think Microsoft is holding off on buying these two studios? I mean, does that make sense to you economically that, they can't do anything until the ABK thing goes through? Well, I mean, if for some reason that doesn't go through, I mean, Microsoft, you better be buying everything. Buy a Sobo too while you're at it, and just start buying COD exclusivity, first advertising deals, whatever. I think it's going to go through, but go ahead, Jose.
I mean, I agree with most of what Shane said. I mean, I think it's very reasonable that that Microsoft has really held off on buying more stuff because of everything that's going on with Activision Blizzard. I mean, that's what I would do. That's a smart move. Like, if everyone's coming down on, look, they're buying up everything, stop buying stuff. Like, that's a pretty simple rule to follow. Will they buy it when it's done? I don't know. I mean, I think that Embracer certainly wouldn't be opposed to selling at the right price. I mean, that's the whole purpose of Embracer, right? It's an investment group. They're trying to make money. And if they can make money on that purchase, that's literally the definition of a win. But it depends. I mean, I think it's dope that Eidos is helping with Playground games, because like we already know Playground doesn't miss. And so I think that'll be, I mean, if anything, it just helps with Fable. And if it's just, even if Playground is handling really all the production and building, it's still cool to have Eidos for testing, for bugs, for, like for that kind of piece of it as well. So I think it's just kind of good overall. I do, on a side note, but similar, I think it's cool to see that Embracer's actually doing some stuff with the studios. Like, a lot of the news we heard for a long time was it just that they were buying them, and it just felt like, oh my God, they own like 120 something studios at this point. And what for? Just to have them? And nope, they're actually kind of trying to manage them a little bit. Now, it's a bummer if, as they close studios again, people lose jobs and stuff like that. But obviously, hope they're able to kind of find themselves as it restructures in that system. But overall, I guess we'll just keep seeing what happens, man. It's been such an interesting couple of years with this. I wonder what it will look like as it settles out here in the next coming years, for sure. So
yeah, and like both of you said, that I do think it's a great thing that studios are coming together to help each other out and work and learn from each other, like Chan said. And I feel like Crystal Dynamics is going to do a good job with Perfect Dark, and I also feel like Eidos will help Playground Games with whatever support they need. And like Jose said, that's only going to make a better game. And Playground Games doesn't miss. Let's be real. Let's move on to the next story. EA and Marvel Entertainment announced a multi-title collaboration. An all-new single-player, third-person action-adventure Iron Man game is now in early development at a Montreal Motive studio. And then today, this is coming directly from Electronic Arts, by the way, on their website. We announced we will collaborate with Marvel on a long-term deal to develop at least 3 new action-adventure games that will be available for consoles and PC. Each of these games will be their own original story set in the Marvel Universe, with the first title in development being a single-player, third-person Iron Man game coming out of Motive. We've been longtime fans of Marvel and their impressive leadership, so this is a remarkable moment for our developers as well as our players and fans, said Laura Mile, Chief Operating Officer at EA. We look forward... Miel, welcoming Marvel into the EA family of creators, and know this collaboration will produce exceptional experiences for our players. We can't wait to see players' reactions when they suit up as Iron Man and do the extraordinary things this superhero is known for. So, Bubble Boy, throwing it over to you. Apparently, this partnership spawned from their success with the Star Wars IP. I'm going to be optimistic here. I think I think EA, like I said, is turning the corner back to good EA, and I'm gonna say this is hopefully gonna be good stuff. But at the same time, more superhero games.
Well, they need a win, and I not that Iron Man will be easy because they can easily mess Iron Man up, but they could also, if they hit it, they're gonna hit it out of the park with Iron Man. If you could find a way to have good combat and like his flight capabilities
and good story with a
and
different actor not playing Iron Man, who's not, no offense, Nolan North. Sorry, Nolan, I love you.
yeah.
Just go do Uncharted.
And I would say I would hope for maybe some co-op stuff and War Machine. War Machine's always been one of my favorite.
Single player only chance.
Oh, did it say that? Oh, dang it, my bad. Well, maybe you could still be War Machine. Like I said, I still think he's one of my favorite secondary characters, but I have to hope, but that's all we can do right now is hope.
Yeah, we got to see. Let's. You're right. What if the Iron Man game hits? Then this could be really awesome. But I feel like they have the studios, they have the talent. Maybe Star Wars was too much pressure. Everyone's gonna mock. In the end, Battlefront 2 did turn out. I mean, they nailed it with setting, feel, important stuff.
The graphics were unbelievable.
Yeah, beautiful, good gameplay. There wasn't much of a campaign or story, but I actually didn't mind the campaign that they added. I kind of enjoyed it actually.
I did too. Yeah, I liked it. And
so there's promise. And then of course Jedi Fallen Order, incredible. So
yeah, no, gosh, I'm gonna start not even knowing what I'm saying. I'm gonna just start rambling because it just gets me all like,
at least it's not Madden, right? It's not the same people make. Jose, throwing it over to you.
Tiburon.
Freaking EA Tiburon. Jose, where do you think these other two stories are going to be?
So that's what I was going to ask you guys. What do you, because obviously Iron Man, and you're right, everything you said is correct. They could totally screw it up.
Come on. Can we have an X-Men? Do we have to? Why does everything have to be Avengers? Can we move on from the Avengers? That was phase what? Phase 1, 2, 3. Like, can we just move on, guys?
Please? I mean, I would love to see an X-Men game. If I had to pick an X-Men, because like how they're doing the Wolverine one, I mean, I think it would be.
Why does it have to be Anne? Throw me the team already. Throw me.
You're right. I would love an X-Men game. The other one that I would love to see as a game, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I think it'd be fun to play, is Blade. I'd love to have a Blade video game that's solid.
No, that's why.
Didn't we say like the Coalition could make a bad Blade game?
Yeah, I think that'd be, especially with Ghost Rider would be a dope game for Ghost Rider. Would be great too. He's a great person to add. So I'm excited, man. I think, Dan, you're right. I agree with you. I think that they're turning a corner, and it's.
The next Mass Effect maybe might be good. Guys.
I'd rather give them the benefit of the doubt at this point,
yes.
Right? As opposed to just being
negative.
They've
earned
maybe they'll hit.
Besides their Kaka sports games, I think there are other, especially the Jedi Fallen Order. That blew me away.
It nailed. It was amazing.
And I think people like the flying one. I know it was short and Chance wasn't the biggest fan, but Alan enjoyed it. And it was, I mean, that was only like $30 or $40 at launch. The Rogue Squadron.
Well, and then it was on Game Pass.
And like I said, Battlefront 2, horrible launch, but then they turned that around, and a lot of people loved that game. So go ahead, Bubble Boy. Sorry.
I just when you were talking about X-Men and how it might not be the entire team, I think sometimes games get a little too carried away with like, well, if we have all these characters, it's going to be too hard to make them unique and stuff. And I think at games like Marvel's Lego or the Lego Marvel,
or just
games,
the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, give us a good one.
Yeah,
of those.
They made a
not
good.
The
It's each character has a few different moves with one button doing a different one for each one, and it's fun. And it
like a Diablo, but with X-Men characters.
Yeah, I think the idea of having a multitude of characters and a big cast can be really fun, right? And like, I might want to play as Nightcrawler. Like, you might not want to be, right? Yeah, like just the honestly, obvious Wolverine and Cyclops.
God, that we need a good X-Men game, you guys. It's time. It's time. Not just Wolverine and Logan. Give me an X-Men game, Jose.
Well, and honestly, I kind of hope that they would force us to play as the characters. I mean, I think there's something to be said for it's
Deadpool
like
game. They're probably going to be a Deadpool game. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about that because the movie
Deadpool game was well done.
It was fun though. It was funny.
Go ahead.
That's a good point.
Captured that universe really well. Was it the best video game? No, but it was fun.
That's what I got. Jose, last question, we'll move on. Do you think it's going to be like mainstream characters, or do you think, like Joseph was saying today on PS Trophy Room, he said like a Moon Knight game, or do you think, nah, they're going to stick to like,
I would say the second one, it's very unlikely. I think you're going to do Iron Man as a banger, like a certified character everyone knows. I think the second one will be the same thing. I think the third one's a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not a wild card in the sense that like they have to start production now. They can't do like one and then start two when that one's done and then start three, because they've been doing this for 16 years. You know what I mean? Like they have to start doing them like congruently, basically, with different teams. So I think that's kind of a big risk. I'm not opposed to like Moon Knight. I think just remember that at the heart of this, they have to make money.
They gotta
right?
make
That's
money,
you got to make money. And even though Moon Knight's a cool character and there would be a solid fan base, is it a big enough fan base? That's a harder question. You know, like it's different making a show like for Disney Plus, because like Dan complains about all the time, like they can make show after show after show after show for a lot quicker and a lot faster than a game. And some will hit and some will not, and we'll go for, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think about the original, the game with like Vision. What was that one? It wasn't Mutant Apocalypse, but it was like Vision and maybe Storm and Beast. There were like three. There were three. Hawkeye. It was God. What was the SNES game like that? But like in that, Vision was a cool character because he could fly. He was the only one that could fly of those characters. That was for Super Nintendo as well. So they could go like something that route too. That just totally. I mean, he's a mainstream Marvel guy. The other thing they could do too, not for nothing, they could go a villain story too. You know what I mean? You could play as like a Thanos. You could play as Ultron, something like that too. Like that's not out of the realm of possibility, man. Just saying.
It's exciting. I just really hope it's not just all Avengers based. That would just be super. We already had that. Like, and to be honest, I appreciate them doing Iron Man because, like Chance said, I think they could play to some of their strengths from Anthem, get the combat, get the flying, get a good story. Okay, fine. But can we just move on from Avengers? It's time. We're moving on. Speaking of FanFest and Moonlight, Xbox announcing Xbox FanFest Trivia 2022. And this was announced on November 2nd from Brian Hatcher at the FanFest lead at Xbox. It's almost time for Xbox FanFest Trivia. We're gearing up for your next chance, great prizes, and more importantly, a great time. Hosted by Xbox's Kelly Lombardi, never heard of him, and Malik Prince. Xbox FanFest Trivia will be a fun community challenge that will put your Xbox knowledge to the test. Xbox FanFest will kick off on twitch.tv/Xbox. Pardon me, on November 12th, 2022 at 2 p.m. Pacific. This 90-minute global live stream event will be available for anyone to watch, and Xbox FanFest fans who sign up to play by November 8th will be eligible to play and win prizes. And you can sign up and learn more at xbox.com/fanfest. All right, everybody clear your calendars. We need to enter. We need to enter right now.
Saturday, Sunday?
We need, when is
or
it?
Saturday,
The 12th. It's the 12th.
Next Saturday.
Next 12th at 2 p.m. So actually, I think we'll be on the same time as them because of daylight savings. I know, but don't we match? Oh, I'm thinking of Arizona and Allen. He's like, they don't have daylight savings. You're right. So we are going to, this Saturday, everybody fall back. We will be on the same time zone as Allen, but Allen will still not be Pacific. I'm very confused, but
that's
anyway,
because we need a chopper pilot in Battlefield.
Yeah,
Alan,
we need
get in here.
Pick them up. How's it? Pick them up.
Hey, look, there's some people want to ride too. Pick them up.
So shout out everybody who wants to join the Fan Fest. For real, gentlemen, we're doing this. I just wanted to announce that, and let's go on to some quick stories now for the rest of the news. How can we have a show without our boss being on it? Hideo Kojima breaks silence on abandoned conspiracies. It's really quite a nuisance. And this is coming from Jordan Miller over at VGC. Speaking on his Spotify podcast, Brian Structure, as part of a new episode featuring Jeff Keighley, during which the pair talked about gaming rumors, the Death Stranding director addressed the speculation that he was involved with Abandoned, a horror game from developer Blue Box Studios. Guys, I don't know if you even remember Abandoned, but there was those rumors going around that it was a Hideo game. And this is that one where I sent you that picture of Dustin in his tinfoil hat suit where he was streaming and he was watching the stream wanting to believe that Hideo Kojima was somehow a part of this abandoned trailer and Sony and whatnot. So anyway, continuing the story. Users just kept sending me pictures of this Hassan, Kojima told Keeley. They still send me collages and deepfake images, like 20 a day. And it's really quite a nuisance, laughed Kojima. So basically, guys, Hassan Karaman, that name supposedly translates to Hideo Kojima in Japanese. If you type in the name, there is this big conspiracy going around that, look it up. I'm serious. Hassan Karaman is Hideo Kojima in Japanese. And everyone thought, oh my gosh, he's making this blue box game. It's going to be the next Silent Hill. They're bringing it back. And then this abandoned trailer dropped, and it was just a guy walking, and it was just terrible. Go look this stuff up. Colin Moriarty from Sacred Symbols did an interview with him, and you're like listening to this, and you're like, wow, this guy just fooled the internet. Bubble Boy, any reaction to this, or do you feel bad for our boss having to deal with all these rumors all the time? Did you know about Abandoned? Did you know? Are you the only one who knows about this? I swear I brought this up with you.
It's
guys.
not the one with Norman Reedus, is it? Like the
no,
dude, I can't think of what you're talking about at all.
Oh my gosh.
Do you, Jose? Do you know what he's?
You guys don't remember? I know I brought this up.
I do feel like you brought this up, but I didn't have a reference.
Not
like
the
a
one that people thought
it.
was Silent Hill like 4 years ago, right?
No, this was recently. This was like within the last year. Yes, they thought this Abandoned game was going to be the next Silent Hill, and Hideo Kojima was a part of it.
And the dude from Death Stranding, Norman Reedus, is that his name, Jose? That he was going to be the actor, right?
No, that was from the one that was Silent Hills that was announced for a PS4 game, and the demo came out. But then Kojima and Konami had that big breakup, and so
yeah, dude, I don't know.
Jose, any reaction to the story? Am I the only one who thought this was comical with Hideo Kojima and Abandoned? Apparently, I was. We can. Move
I
on.
think it's funny that he's like, I created a monster, and it's annoying now.
He
because
didn't
I get,
create
like,
it.
emails.
People. He has nothing to do with it. People just thought he had everything to do with this game, but
that's kind of also like in the current era, when you talk about video games, most people, even people who don't follow games that much, know the name Hideo Kojima. They don't know the guy. They probably couldn't pick him out of a lineup, but you know the name. And so to some degree, like with that fame and notoriety comes weird stuff like this. And I commend him at least for laughing about it, even though he's like, it's annoying, but he's like, he understands that kind of comes with the territory, And I also think it's cool that in an era where like leaks and information are so readily happening, because there's just so many ways that information gets out, I think it's cool that there's a lot of mystery around Kojima, that it's like, what's his next project? We don't really know. We don't really know till he announces it. Like, that's a pretty impressive skill that he has, after doing so many things, like even before Death Stranding came out, when he was clearly working on it, people were like, what's his game about? And everyone's like, I don't know. And even when it was like, Norman Reedus is in it, and everyone's like, oh, really, really cool. What's it about? And they're like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty impressive skill in this day and age. So, sorry he has to deal with the emails, but hey, join the list, man. I get emails all day, every day. And they're not as fun as that.
So shout out to Hideo, Abandoned. Chance, I'm going to send you a video on the whole Abandoned conspiracy, and you're going to love watching it. Let's move on to the next one very quickly. On VGC and Twitter, Nibelian, one of the most prolific sources of video game news on Twitter, has announced he's leaving the platform. And I just wanted to bring this up because I relied on a lot of his tweets for breaking news, breaking stats. He did give a lot of information that contributed to our show. And before we started XRT, I was following him for a long time and got a lot of breaking news from him. So shout out to Nibel on Twitter. Basically, he said that he tried to create a revenue stream through Patreon, and he wasn't, getting enough support that he needed to make it a viable income source. And he also said, then there's the elephant in the room, which the platform itself, speaking of Twitter, I don't think that Twitter has yet experienced good leadership, and this trend will not change with Mr. Elon Musk either. I do not trust the platform. I do not trust Elon and seemingly the infinite immaturity. I do not think Twitter will fall apart instantly, but that it could die a slow death. So why waste any more time? So rest in peace to one of the best video game sources on the internet, and especially on Twitter. Rip Nibel, aka Nibelian. Jose, any reaction to this?
I think that's pretty crazy, man. And to be fair, with Elon taking over Twitter, I'm sure that he is not the only person of a certain level of clout who's
Let's jump
choosing
into
to leave
that
the
right
platform.
now, Jose. What do you guys think of Musk taking over? Is really much going to change, or is it just big people making a big deal out of nothing?
It's not
I
like
think
he did a bad job with Tesla. They seem to be doing just fine, right?
How are they, Jose? Are they even making money yet? Ever? Like, I don't know how you can keep.
I'm not familiar with like the economics of Tesla, so I don't want to
I
comment
guess
on
their
that.
stock is crazy, but I mean, are they making? I don't know. Like, go ahead.
But I think the inherent issue with Twitter for a long time prior to even Elon is that it is very much like the Wild West. And here's what I mean. Like, so Dan, as much as I love Dan is not like, he's not a earth shaker yet on Twitter, right? One day he will be, but not today.
Got like
And so
38 followers.
Yeah, 30, I would double digits, baby. And yet still, I bet Dan gets weird comments on his stuff. And it's not, at this point, it's mostly just annoying. It's like weird. It doesn't really bother you. But at some point, if he does grow, you do start getting people that say like, not only like wrong things and negative things and mean things, but just like wacky things. And there's like just not moderation. And to be fair, that is kind of what happens on all social media platforms. Unless you have a company or a head who they're really adamant and really put a lot of effort and time into trying to moderate the platform, you just do that. And so, that just happens as a natural piece of it. And I think, for better or for worse, and whatever your politics are, I think that our former president did help the situation on Twitter. And I think that like there are a lot of people, not just politically, but like celebrities who just do like insane things. Like,
dude,
I
what is
think
with my boy Kyrie Irving? I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to wear his shoes anymore now. Thanks, Kyrie. Appreciate it.
No, you got to burn those real quick.
Gosh. Anyway,
and so literally, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I think is really worrisome about the platform. And it's a bummer for me because I'm not like a crazy Twitter power user, but I do really enjoy the format of like, I get lots of sources of information.
Yeah, it's great, quick
and
news. That's
community
why I
and
like
funny
it.
stuff. It's really nice to have that. And so I am a little bit worried. Again, personally, I'm not at the point where I'm going to just drop Twitter and be like, I'm out, never doing this again. But again, I'm not an influencer. And I understand like where Nibel probably worked really hard to get where he got. And if it is a he, I don't even know if he's a he, but that person, literally like to feel like he should be compensated is very reasonable. It truly is, for the amount of people that went to him for information. And so it's cool that he tried the Patreon, but I think he realized pretty quickly that people, as much as they love you, they don't always put their money where their mouth is, right? And so he's like, yeah, this isn't worth it. To be fair, he also could be starting a family and having children. And he's just like, look, man, that's more important to me. And good for you, man. That's probably the right choice. But it is sad for us because we did depend on him a lot. So I know I just kind of bird walked in a bunch of different directions here, but ultimately with Twitter, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens in the coming years. I'm pretty confident in two things, unfortunately. If Nibel leaving, someone else will fill his spot. Like, that's just unfortunately the way of the world, just like with our jobs. Like, I think people like me at my job, but if I left, they would replace me. That's just how it goes. The other thing I think with Twitter is the same thing. If Twitter dies a slow death and Elon's out
Someone
the billions of dollars, there'll be another platform that comes
Here comes
up. And
Flitter.
maybe it's Reddit, maybe it's a form of Instagram, maybe it's something in the metaverse, who knows? But it's not like that form of short-term news will go away anytime soon. So, and then just real quick, real-time follow-up, Chance is asking what net profit is.
That looks like it was, right, Jose?
The way you think about money, right, when you get your paycheck, the difference between gross and net is that everything it starts at the top is gross, and if it's falling and there's a net, whatever you catch in the net, you get to keep. That's net.
Their
So
profit. So
that's
they
what they got to keep, was $5 billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that a
for
lot?
Tesla?
I'd say pretty good.
Yeah, that's good, man. I guess. Anyway. All right. Moving on, Jose, to the next story with IGN and Sony.
IGN and Sony.
Wait, let's start with this. How about I'll do this one and then we'll transition to Sony because it kind of ties in together. Charlie Intel over on Twitter and a new podcast. And what podcast was it? Jose, do you know the one with iJustine? We should probably give credit to that. Thanks for crediting that, Charlie Intel. Xbox's Phil Spencer says Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation as long as there is a PlayStation out there to ship to. So again, he's reiterating what we already know. We're not taking Call of Duty for PlayStation. Yes, we can if we bought the IP, but that is not our plan. Let's say if there's a PlayStation, we will continue to keep it on there. Whether or not he means that's indefinitely through individual sales on the console or Game Pass on PlayStation. But yes, if there's a PlayStation, we're going to continue Call of Duty. Tying into that, Jose, you sent me IGN on their Instagram, which is, I feel, is odd to get news from, but Jose likes the Instagram for news. Sony's multi-tiered PlayStation Plus subscription service has dropped from 47.3 million subs or users at the end of June to 45.4 million in the 3 months leading up to September, a decrease of 4%. So overall, PlayStation Plus has lost nearly 2 million PlayStation Plus Play Pass, stupid name, subscribers since its revamp to Play Pass. So Jose, take it away with your thoughts on this one.
So just to clarify, the podcast is the Same Brain podcast. It's if you follow tech news, it's by Justine and her sister Jenna. And what's very interesting to me is that Justine, don't get me wrong, she's a powerhouse in the world of like social media and influencers. Like, even if you don't know who she is, you don't have to. She has tens of millions of subscribers, and she drops a video and she instantly makes tens of thousands of dollars. So like, if you don't know her, that's fine, but she's doing just fine. But what's interesting is like, even though she is a big gamer and she's into tech stuff, she's not really known for like breaking tech news or game news. So it was very interesting that this came from her podcast, where her sister and her are just interviewing our boy Phil Spencer,
Lord Phil Spencer, Dominus Maximus Spencer,
Lord Phil. But here's where it's, a lot of people are wondering right now, like, we all knew this was true. All the people that were saying like, look, they're going to keep it on PlayStation, they're going to keep Call of Duty because it just makes a lot more money to do that. And yet all the naysayers, including all the regulatory committees, are saying like, well, we don't know that. And all of a sudden he just finally said, look, we're going to keep it on PlayStation as long as there's a PlayStation. It begs the question of like, why didn't you just come out and say that from day one? You know what I mean? Like, if you knew that was your answer, and my theory, it's purely mine, is that he didn't have that as a plan. And then as a result of some of this regulatory stuff, which may have been the entire purpose of Jim Ryan's like coming after this, was that they
crying Jim Ryan, it's working. Yep.
And this is a concession to say that, like, look, I'm going on record on a very well-known podcast to say that we're going to do this forever. Now, again, I'm still not surprised. Like, I still knew this was going to be the case because that's the smart business move, to keep it on all platforms. But it's been an interesting week, and Lord Phil has been in literally all of the news. Like, it's a big, big deal in this whole thing. And I'm curious how it will influence some of the regulation stuff that's going to come out in the coming weeks. Now, real quick, tying into this other news from IGN about Sony, and then I'll pass it to Chance. Do you remember recently in one of the interviews, Phil did say, our Game Pass model is a good model for us. It is profitable. It is sustainable. We're going to keep it for sure. He didn't give us numbers, to be fair, but he made a clear indication that like it's working real well for Xbox. I just thought it was very interesting to hear on the other side for Sony that it's really not going very well. Now, why is that? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate as to why. I don't have Play Pass right now. I don't have a PlayStation even. You know, is it because the library really hasn't grown? Maybe. Is it because of some of the, what's the like non-NFT things that they are doing called Stars, right? PlayStation Stars stuff.
Yeah,
maybe that's not as successful as they kind of anticipated. And maybe it will change. You know, for the record, we don't know that Xbox wasn't hemorrhaging money for the first couple of years with Game Pass, and it just took that time to get out of it into the black. That could be the same case here. But I just thought it was worth mentioning that that could be not great for PlayStation Pass in the short term. And if it failed, is there ever a chance we'd see Game Pass on PlayStation? I don't know, but some interesting possibilities for sure. Chance, what do you think, bud?
Idiot.
Okay, Bubble Boy just wanted to use the soundboard. Bubble Boy, before I throw it over to you, I think, Jose, that it's a combination of, who knows, not as many people buying consoles. You know, pandemic made the growth way higher than it was. And also, there's nothing that makes Play Pass that great. You know, like they do have some games, but they don't have the key one that I feel like Xbox has. Day one first party games. Even though we're lacking in that this year, that is a big deal. And that's what kind of like some of the guys on the Trophy Worm were talking about. Is like it, or maybe it was Handsome Phantom. They're talking about it just doesn't have like an identity, and it's true. Like, can you tell me the difference between PlayStation Plus, Premium, Extra, whatever their god awful tiers are? No, you cannot. Exactly. So at least with Game Pass, you get day one exclusives. And then with Ultimate, you also get it on PC. I feel like their version is it's lacking. I haven't heard anything of it from when it launched. So clearly Bubble Boy doesn't care. Bubble Boy is over the Sony thing. He just wants to play the new God of War, which is killing it with the reviews. So
Yeah.
That
let's
is.
close the show with some our favorite segments. New games with gold for November. This month, you guys, we're just going to go through this quick. For the entire month, you can download Praetorian's HD Remastered. And then from November 16th to the 15th, you can download Dead End Job. I have to say, I just watched the trailer for Dead End Job. It's basically a top-down third person, or what is it called? The twin stick shooter kind of game. I'll probably start the download just to have this maybe down the road, but Xbox, just end games with gold, convert everyone to base Game Pass, and then break it up in Ultimate, saying if you get Ultimate, you get day one, or no, we already talked about this last episode. You get day one releases of Xbox on one tier, Ultimate gets you everything else, and we'll move on. And then coming to Game Pass for November, we got some banger slangers right here. So here's what's coming. Available right now, and this was November 1st. The Legend of Tianding. It's okay. Moving on. The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, the complete season PC. The Walking Dead: Michonne, the complete season PC. Coming soon. Ghost Song Cloud Console PC is out now. Football Manager 23 on PC, November 8th. Football Manager 23 console, November 8th. Ooh, Return to Monkey Island, cloud console PC. I've heard good things about it. One of my Ryan McCaffrey's favorite games is Monkey Island. I still need to play the first one. And apparently the second one is really, really good. Vampire Survivors. Guys, this is one you need to pay attention to. I'm sure none of you have heard of it or know anything about it. Last week on Handsome Fandom, I remember Ben Smith, good old Mayor Ben Smith, talking about Vampire Survivors. He said this game was a blast and he couldn't stop playing it. I'm going to be getting that one. And I guess it's a very simple game. It's like
Yeah, it's
500
right up
megs.
my alley.
Yeah.
And I love vampires, and Claire was just saying the same thing. You can do a lot of really good things there. So I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that was a big one. And then Smash TV meets vampires. Perfect. Pentiment cloud console and PC, November 15th from Obsidian and Xbox Game Studios. Step into the living illustrated world inspired by illuminated manuscripts, printed woodcuts, in a time when Europe was at a crossroads of great religious and political change. Man, that description sounds awesome right there, Bubble Boy. And then we have walk in the footsteps of Andreas Mahler, a master artist who finds himself in the middle of murders, scandals, and intrigue in the Bavarian Alps. Choose your backgrounds, impact a changing world, and see the consequences of your decisions in this narrative adventure. The only big fall exclusive, really, besides Grounded coming out this year. Technically, Grounded's been in game preview for a long time, but Pentiment, I've already got it pre-downloaded. I can't wait. November 15th. It's like 11 gigs. And then the next banger slang. Oh my gosh, it's the same day. Somerville, console and PC, day one Game Pass release. In the wake of an otherworldly invasion that's left the world in a catastrophe, you must find the means to make your family whole again. Explore a rich and atmospheric world along with the intimate repercussions of large-scale conflict in a handcrafted sci-fi narrative experience set across a perilous rural landscape. These, of course, one of the leaders of Inside and Limbo. We've talked about these amazing games, is responsible behind Somerville. And then there's some DLC. Sniper Elite 5. The free map pack. Sea of Thieves, Return of the Damned. Ooh, big one, boys. Halo Infinite Winter Update. 5 days, 2 new maps, 2 themed events, a new mode, free 30-tier battle pass. We're finally going to have co-op. Forge, cannot wait. And then Microsoft Flight Simulator 40th anniversary, leaving Game Pass. Football Manager 22. All right, well, we're getting the 23rd. Art of Rally, Fate Tactics, Next Space Rebel, One Step from Eden, Superland Subnautica. Anybody? Banger Slingers, who's playing what games? Bubble Boy?
Well, obviously Somerville, and I was gonna say, look at that picture, and you just see what I assume to be his wife holding that little baby, and it already gets you in the feels with the dog there and everything. Like I've
And the
really,
alien structure of
yep,
sorts.
I have very high hopes, not so high that like I'm gonna be disappointed if it undersells. Um, I can remember a long time ago thinking that it might be like this and 12 minutes that kind of go toe to toe for my favorite indie, and I have to imagine it'll blow that out of the water. So just really looking forward to that one.
Jose, what about you?
Same. After playing Inside and absolutely like loving it, I've had it. They're actually weirdly enough, a couple kids at school have been playing it like at lunch on their Switch, and like I'd be like, "How's it going?" And like they're having trouble with puzzles and stuff, and it feels fun as a way to connect with them. But I think I'm looking forward to Somerville. I'm hoping I'll be done with Gotham Knights by then, so I can do this day one and knock it out. But it looks cool, man. And sucker for a game about like getting back with your family. Like I'm all about it.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I don't think Somerville or Pentiment are going to be very long or difficult games. So I'm excited. So speaking of what we've been playing, let's jump into what have we been playing or watching. I will go first. Of course, Battlefield 2042. I'm loving this game, you guys. Jose, you saw my tweet. You saw that banger play right there. That was incredible. I got another one from dude. I got another one from last night that somehow was better than that one. Only in Battlefield moments. Loving Battlefield for multiplayer. Also, I'm obsessed with Dark Souls. I am all in the Dark Souls train. Can't stop playing. I'm a level 66, I believe, Jose. So I've passed you finally. It's getting
Sweet.
I'm like 23 hours in. It's getting to the point where now I'm like, okay, I kind of want to wrap this up. I can only take so much stress and losing my souls. I gotta start transitioning towards the end here, and I don't know if I am or not, but I have been following a guide from Fighting Cowboy. I have to give a shout out to him just so I don't miss anything, which has been helpful. And I do have to say that my skills from Elden Ring have definitely helped. Like I don't feel like I'm struggling as much as I did with Elden Ring, where I was dying so much because I'd never played the games. I understand it a little bit more. I know when to engage, when not to engage, how to get my souls back, when not to get cocky. If I've got enough to level up, I'm leveling up. There's no point in hoarding those souls, so you just got to be smart. And then the last thing, I got to tell Jose about this. I beat Scorn. Very, very... Just, I'm not going to lie. This game is not for everybody. Only play this game if you like puzzles and not knowing what the heck you're supposed to do. And you're just going to explore and figure it out. Very atmospheric, very gross and bizarre, just bizarre. This whole game, Jose, is so bizarre. The ending, I'm like, what is going on? I have no idea what just happened or what I just did. It's an experience. I only, on the XRT rating scale, again, this is only worth it on Game Pass if you know what you're getting into. And like I said, it is a bizarre walking puzzle interactive game with great atmosphere, like good graphics, good setting, but it's not for everybody. I think two things would have made it for everybody: improved combat and a lot more of it, less puzzles. I think if it was just a little bit, like, not like Doom, it doesn't have to be crazy. I feel like if they could have refined it, like when there was a boss that I got to, Jose, at the end, towards the very end, and I actually enjoyed the actual battle, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's so tough for me to recommend. I do, like I said, I don't think it's worth your time. It is only worth it on Game Pass if you know what you're getting into and you're getting into it for an experience. Bubble Boy, I think down the road you might enjoy it. I did use a guide for a lot of the puzzles and what to do next because I was like, I can't do this anymore. But and a fairly easy 1,000 chance. Jose, go ahead.
I was just going to ask about the combat and how you did it, but you kind of mentioned that. Just to give me a heads up. So
Which gun do you have? Yeah, what gun do you have?
No, I have like the shotgun-ish gun where it like
I think you got the pistol. Or is it like the...
Yeah. How far am I in the
like
game
6 shots.
Yeah.
You're probably like halfway realistically or more.
Okay.
You get one more gun. You get a more powerful gun, and that gun is good. But the ammo, Jose. You only get like 3 shots chance.
know.
And like it sucks. And if you run out, then you get this one gun that just goes like it's like a punching hand. You know what I'm talking
But it's
about?
like a small one. It's like the guy from
It's
Scary
not
Movie when no one wants to
Yeah.
touch
But like
his
I said,
hand.
Jose,
Yeah.
I think they added that because they're like, oh God, you're really just walking around in this game. But if they would have had more of it and they just refined it a little bit, I think it would have really been even more engaging to where it would have made it a lot more fun to play. Chance, I don't know. You could just watch it, really. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it. I don't think it just.
Jose, I think you should watch a guide for the rest of it and just finish it. I think you would appreciate finishing it. I would say that. So, Bubble Boy, what about you? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing. I really enjoyed my 10 hours worth of time on Battlefield 2042. Playing with you guys. I'm not gonna buy
Not
it
enough to
yet.
buy it though, guys.
Well, listen, hold on, because it's $35 right now, which I have a hard time spending on a game that's over a year old, or almost a year old. Come on, yeah, it's like
Chance, I'm telling you, man, the amount of entertainment I've been getting out of this.
I hear you. I am certain it's going to have a pretty substantial discount for Black Friday. I know you can back me up on that one, so I'm just going to be a little
Or it'll
bit
be
patient.
Pass, yeah.
Yeah, and exactly with EA Play, it should be there soon. But I did have fun. Like it was great. We didn't have the massive squads like I was hoping to from back in the old days, but it was the whole XRT crew, which was a lot of fun. So the other thing that I did, though, I finally got to enjoy a game with my backbone on my cell phone. And I played
Persona 5.
No, dude, it's too small. Again, I mean, it
Jose,
was
it's just too
way
small.
too
That's what she said.
just way too small. I can't. What game did work though was Signalis, which came out on Game Pass maybe a week ago or so, maybe a week and a half, and it reminds me a lot of old school Resident Evil. By that I mean it's kind of that like 3/4 top down view. You kind of just aim and you only aim straight and you can shoot things. The resource management is a huge part of it. There's simple little puzzles, but it's really just like one screen each time, and then you either go up, down, right, or left, kind of. And each time you go through a thing, there's like a really quick loading screen. Not even loading screen, like it goes black, and then you're right back into it. Kind of like some of those old school Resident Evil games from way back in the day. I've liked it. It's been just enough of a like carrot dangling in terms of, oh, there's one more little thing to do and there's one more little thing to do. And I've just been playing it right before I go to bed. So I've only played it for maybe like 3 hours, and I'm pretty sure I'm right there at the end. But I recommend it. I think it's worth your time because it's not very long. I don't know
Worth your
what
time on Game Pass or worth your time and money as a purchase?
No, I probably wouldn't purchase it, but definitely worth your time on Game Pass for sure. So
Jose still patrolling Gotham?
I am. So as of tonight, I am just shy of 30 hours into Gotham Knights, and still very much enjoying it. I'm at the point where I've now beaten 3 of the major like Batman villains that you know. One of them is Harley Quinn. I'm not going to tell you the other 2 to like spoil it, but cool fights and unique mechanics and really beautiful. Like I cannot stress that enough, especially because everybody was so down on the 30 FPS thing. It is a beautiful game. Even some of the parts where I'm like on the bat cycle and you see the reflection of the city in the water on the ground, just gorgeous. Like really enjoying that. I'm now to the point where I'm a little OP'd for the story, but it's kind of nice because it just means the story missions are progressing pretty quickly and I'm having a lot of fun there. It just took a little bit of a twist in this story, which has been welcome. The one criticism I would add to what I've said before is that it is getting slightly repetitive with some of the battles where I just want to complete them because I want to make sure I get through them all. And it's kind of the same little groups. There have been some updates with some like different, more beefier villains and an entirely kind of new category of them. I don't want to say what it is because it spoils a little bit of the story, but I think I'm getting close to the end. So because I've read reports that to get a full 1,000 of 1,000 is like 40 to 50 hours and I'm at 30. So I've got to be relatively close to kind of the end of the story, but I'm hoping by next week I'll be able to report back how it went so that I can, of course, jump into Somerville when it comes out and that kind of thing. But still great, man. I still think it's worth it. I understand if you don't want to spend the full price. Definitely a great Black Friday pickup at like 40, 45, something like that for sure. So other than that, just Battlefield with the boys, which Dan is right, man. Like I genuinely look forward to like Friday, Saturday nights getting on and just, whoever's on, Nico, Allen, Chance, whoever's there is to pick it up. And it's fun. So anyone out there, if you want to join us, if you haven't already, pick it up, and so totally worth it for you.
Absolutely. Chance, I just watched the Signalis trailer. Looks pretty sweet. I might have to
It's
try
that
it,
old
man.
what
It's
is
like
it,
16-bit or like super,
Yeah.
but definitely more 3D with like movement, like you said, kind of like
The sound is
Resident
really
Evil.
well done.
Very
The
cool.
ambiance is very spooky.
Here's the
The
thing, though.
story. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. The story.
The story has kind of started to lose me. It's pretty simple. It just kind of throws you into it. It's not great, but it's serviceable.
But here's my dilemma, guys. I'm basically, after Dark Souls, pretty much caught up on my backlog. Like I've done it. Like I'm pretty, like I can't really, Grounded maybe. So I'm gonna play Pentiment. I'm gonna play Somerville. Both of those games I do not think are gonna be huge time sinks. So I'm gonna have like November, a lot of December. Well, High on Life comes out in December. Dang it! But that I hear is not very long either. But do I try Persona 5, Bubble Boy? Do I commit to Persona? Do I need to be the one to jump into the JRPG?
If I could have played it on my backbone,
why can't you play it on your Xbox, Bubble Boy? You like this stuff. You need to too, Bubble Boy.
I don't like anime. I don't love.
But you've heard such great things about the series.
JRPGs. I know. I want to. I just can't. That the 100 hours is so overwhelming that it just. I don't know. Maybe someday. Maybe like next summer when there's a lull in what's going on. But I'm looking forward to Halo co-op.
You're right. I'm gonna play Halo and I'll probably play Mass Effect again. You're right. Never mind.
I'm probably gonna get that XCOM X-Men game.
Really, Midnight Suns?
Yeah.
I love that you threw in Mass Effect. That wasn't even on the table.
Well,
for
that was just it. Like, if I'm all caught up, I might as well play Mass Effect again. But chances right, co-op. I gotta do Halo co-op because I'm gonna want to get those achievements. This is very true. And I want to play Halo co-op. I've been waiting for this. Guys, let's end the show like we always do with the best food we had this week.
I can go to update you on a previous news story. I had my first date.
The bagel.
In a long time. No.
Yeah, what's up with this all bagel?
On that.
Dude, I don't think it exists. That's why Tracy was so excited when the place had it, because she wasn't kidding. Like, they don't exist. They're not real. I did get to go on a date with my lovely wife Ashley, and we went to a place called Jing. You guys ever heard of Jing?
Chance, you told us about this.
Yeah, this was last time you told us.
Remember, because I brought up the Kobe beef sliders, and you're like, yeah, it was between that, but we didn't get that. All right, well, Chance,
playing Battlefield, man. We went on Friday. That's not we.
Okay, that's right. Chance, go ahead and share with everybody, even though you shared with us. Go ahead.
That's what happens when you get old, because you guys had me going for a second. I was like,
well, you did share it with us.
You can't both be wrong, man. I don't know. Yeah, no, I did, but it was good. It's like an Asian fusion, and it's popular because there's one in Vegas that's super fancy and stuff, and it was good. I probably won't go back just for the price. The one thing that they had that I will give a shout out to, they're called Buddha buttons, and they're these little flowers that you can pay $3 to have popped into your drink, and what they're supposed to do is make your like mouth this like kind of tingly feeling, so that it like opens up your taste buds and makes just like a more enjoyable dining experience, which when I heard tingling, I was like, oh, that sounds like allergy adjacent. And if you don't know, I have many nut allergies that I stay very, very far away from, because it's one of the worst sensations on the planet, having a bad nut allergy reaction. And so I said no at first.
That's what she said.
There we go. But
we're gonna clip that one, guys.
Yeah, he went back, or the waiter went back. He's like, well, I'm gonna get you guys both one. He's like, he's like, you're not gonna be allergic to it, but there's no nuts in it, and it's probably some like top secret recipe. But anyway,
It's
popped
Pop
it in my
Rocks.
mouth. Yeah, right. It was weird. It just was weird, and it didn't make anything taste better. It was just like 2 minutes of just weird. I don't know how to describe it. If you're there, by all means try it because it's only $3. But like, don't expect the way they explain it to you because it didn't make anything better. It just made it weird, like almost numb in a way, but like a tingly numb. I don't know.
Jose, why don't you go next?
I will happily do that. Real-time follow-up. We just got a text from our boy Goose. He did pick up a McRib as we're speaking.
that.
So
Yep.
have one for us, Goose. He got extra pickles on it. It looks like from the photo.
I just
Hope you're
texted
enjoying
him that we were
buddy.
talking about him on that tonight.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So before I tell you my favorite food this week, because we had a couple, then one of them actually starts with Halloween. We had breakfast for dinner on Halloween, which is one of our favorite family meals. It was also a quick one we could do so we could go out trick-or-treating. I also broke my cap on my tooth on Monday night. So after our whole thing about candy, and I was defending Milk Duds. I haven't had a Milk Dud in years, probably literally like 10 years. I took a bite of a Milk Dud and my entire cap popped off of my back tooth. So I was able to get in with Dr. Ben. Chance knows Dr. Ben.
Yeah,
because of JP, and he actually hooked me up real quick the next day, so I really appreciate that, Dr. Ben. Feeling great. But best food I had this week, last Sunday, went to go see my parents, and it's been a long week for everybody, and so my parents were like, "You cool with us just ordering Popeyes?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
That chicken for Popeyes.
And so we did our order. A huge bummer though, they were out of fries. Like the whole restaurant was out of fries, and that's my favorite. That's
just
the
get
side I
red
get.
beans and rice.
I know.
What
I like the
are you
fries though.
doing?
Gravy,
No.
taters
And
and gravy.
yeah, and it was still fine. They also they gave us an extra sandwich on accident, and so I took that to work the next day, and I was kind of I love Popeyes for the record, but I was skeptical because I was like, it's been in the fridge all night, and like I don't know about work. It was literally a message from the gods because my secretary Pam brought an air fryer to work on
That's what
Monday.
I was gonna ask. Is like, do you guys have one there?
So I put the patty in the air fryer.
my
I put the buns in
God.
the microwave, and it was amazing. It was legitimately a delicious
I didn't
Popeye
use to
sandwich reheated.
Jesus.
So that was
I do
fantastic.
now.
The other thing that I had to I have to shout out. So I mentioned this earlier in the podcast. Last night, Wednesday night, my father got an award from the former district he worked for that I work for him being like an Emeritus Hall of Fame inductee. It was like a very nice dinner. We got to go to 240 Union. You remember that restaurant over there in Green Mountain? It was very good. I got a sirloin steak that was, I'm not a big like rare kind of guy because it was kind of medium rare, but it was a delightful steak, like a really, really, really good food. So shout out to 240 Union. Shout out to my dad for his award. Very proud of you, Dad. I had to give the speech.
Shout out, Big Jose.
Got all choked up.
Shout out.
And messed up some of the words. So I'm sorry about that, Dad, but I still love you and congratulations. Overall, it was a great week of food, man.
Nice.
So now looking forward to some inside warm weather food because it's snowing right now as we record.
Update. Never been to 240 Union. I've been here for how many years?
I don't think I have either.
I had never till last night.
Yeah, never. I just seen it. Just drove by it every day on good old Union.
For the record, it's not our place. Like we would walk in and be like, "Yeah, I don't belong here. I'm out. I'm gonna go down to the street to Chipotle and get something there."
Sounds good. So very nice, Jose. Very nice. A real-time update also on Jose's story about reheating his chicken sandwich. The last time I reheated a chicken sandwich, very similar situation to Jose, was Chick-fil-A Christmas 2019. Remember, guys, when I had the worst food poisoning of my life? Almost literally thought I was dying. Never vomited so much in my life. Very terrifying experience. I'll still get Chick-fil-A still though. So I'm not as much as I used to. I will say that. But on the best food I had this week, huge XRT shout out to my wife, Allison Walensik. She cooked the carne asada fajitas again. Oh my, it's just so good. And a bonus for me too. She's like, yeah, the meat's just a little too fatty for me. I'm like, you're not going to eat more of this? Guys, I had so much of that steak. It was out of control and delicious. So shout out to Allie. Best food I had this week. Also, another real-time update, Bubble Boy. That Waffle Crunch knockoff malto meal cereal, delicious. Delicious. God, it is worth your time.
Only the Aurora
two
Walmart,
bowls. Huh? 2 bowls. It was incredible. Yep, got it at the Aurora Walmart there. Wow. I was blown away. So worth my time and money. Will be picking that up again if I see it. D.
I mean, there's no way the
Delicious.
Elizabeth one has it because
Why
I
not?
wouldn't. Well, I'm just saying, the last couple of times I've gone, it wasn't there. There's no way I would have not noticed it, right? Like
Yeah,
that just
maybe
would have
it's new. I think
dried
it might
out.
be new, Chance. I
Oh
think it
man,
might be new.
I'm
Ugh.
hoping. Ashley's
Shout
going to
out.
the store tomorrow, so we'll see.
Tell her, yeah, waffle crunch malto meal, delicious, guys.
Get some prayers for me,
This
people.
has been Xbox Record This episode 79. My name is Daddy D Wally. You can follow me at Daddy D Wally across all social media. Please, to the fan out there sending me the fan mail, no more scary packages. Please, we need to get to the bottom of this. Please. Bubble Boy, where can people find you?
The post office sending package.
Oh, yeah, right. And I forgot to mention, you can follow the show at Xbox Record This across all social media. And Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can
At the post
find me-
office sending me these gift packages. Or
no,
Chipo's mom.
Nope. You can
It was
find
Chipo's
me.
dad.
You could hopefully find me at Popeye sometime soon because right now, you and me chicken sandwiches we've consumed as a team.
Oh, what's the count at?
69.
Oh,
Hey!
nice. Very nice. As
You can also-
always. Oh, sorry.
You can find me Chipotle Bear wherever you want. Go ahead.
As always, spicy chicken sandwich lovers. See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
A simple no would have been. What does he say?
A simple no
would have been fine.
I swear to God, I was a second away from downloading that for tonight.
Xbox Record This is a podcast created by Daniel Walenzik. You can follow him at Daddy Diwali on all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear on Twitter. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This on all social media. If you'd like to find out more about the show, visit xboxrecordthis.com.